I used to sniff the flavored erasers.
Oh, yeah.
To like a point of like headaches at school.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I used to do?
Might explain a couple other things.
It's your turn this week.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn this week.
To do what?
To say welcome back to
intro?
Secondhand Smut.
All right.
Welcome to another episode of... Sorry.
Welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Smut. I'm Paul.
I'm Angela.
And this is Secondhand Smut.
Welcome back. I just got giddy for a second.
Yeah,
I don't know why. We're both in good moods.
We're in good moods.
Which is exciting after
it's
that
been
episode.
A bad
yeah.
couple of weeks, but it was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Got some good news today, which I never get good news.
It's been a while since you've had some good news.
My good news is usually very little like hope, and then nothing. Hope, crash, hope, crash, hope,
I would
crash.
say, yeah, hope, despair, hope, despair. And then today's like,
today
hope.
was
okay.
Big things are coming.
For sure.
And you know what?
What?
When I got my big news today,
yeah,
and I couldn't even wait until today.
I see where you're going with this.
And you know who I didn't tell?
Who?
Maggie. Because you're my best friend.
Sure.
And I'll tell Maggie. She's gonna be on the list of people to find out.
And by the way, Maggie's my friend too.
Maggie is your friend. We're all friends. We're not arguing about friendship.
I love
We're
this.
We're arguing about the hierarchy, the pecking order.
For sure, the pecking order. I do love this saga that Maggie she's no idea that we have this whole saga.
Well, because also like the other thing that is kind of new is at the time of this filming, we've like had episodes posted.
Yeah.
When for the most part, like all the episodes that we had done before, we hadn't had anything posted.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting like pretty good feedback.
Which
it's
is
obviously
great.
Not like we didn't go viral immediately.
Well,
but
I can't expect
we got fans.
You know, I can't expect that after one episode we would go viral.
Well,
I mean, you can live in delusion.
I can. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to post this TikTok. And the rest of my life is different.
We're gonna release one episode, and like, we're gonna wake up.
We're gonna wake up.
Our phones are gonna be like.
I was like, I got to go to bed before midnight because that's when it posts. Because like it's a Christmas morning situation. The sooner I go to bed, the sooner I wake up to famous.
Yep.
And I still feel that way. We have fucking followers. We have fans. This is for you who started early.
For real. In the UK. Dude, I live in delusion. I live in delusion. Sue me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, delusion. We're delusioning our way there.
Exactly. That's called manifesting. I'm sorry.
And we're doing pretty good.
Dude, because you know what? You know people get confused about manifesting? This is what some people, not all people, but some people
some of them
think manifesting is. Manifesting is like, I will be successful. I will have this job. No, that's not manifesting. Manifesting is saying, "Oh my God, look at me! I'm such a
live it. It's already happening.
In it. It's already happening.
Which is fine.
It's already happening.
I have been acting like this podcast is already.
We're insane.
And I'll stay that fucking
way.
Right.
I don't want to be sane.
Well, I'm insane. We're insane.
We're insane.
Like, we're insane.
Period.
On the inside.
Yeah.
We keep our insane.
Yeah.
Up in here. We don't really
Don't put it out too much.
No.
And I definitely internalize my insanity.
Yeah, it's way crazier up here than it is out here, which it's pretty crazy out here.
Right?
So
that's saying a lot about how crazy we are.
But I mean, I think we're doing great, and we're gonna, definitely working on social media. Oh, you know what I think we have to do?
What?
And I hate to even say it.
What?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button,
leave a comment.
Yes.
Comments help us so much.
Ooh, girl, do it.
Oh,
whatever.
I'll
say that shit so fast.
Dreading having to say that because I make so many jokes about people that do say that.
For sure.
But
I guess
here we are.
Yeah, you have to.
All the shit I've talked, I'm on the other side having to be like, smash that like and subscribe. We're trying to get some comments.
Yeah, dude.
Get traffic.
I'll say that shit with pride.
Okay, I'm learning to.
Yep.
Gotta stop hating yourself.
You really do. It's so hard.
It's hard. It's very hard. But anyway, back to the original point.
Yeah.
I told you because we're best friends, and I view us that way.
I'm so glad.
Though you don't.
I'm so glad you called me and didn't wait till I got here this afternoon to tell me your good news. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, Maggie's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be like, "Oh my God, tell me."
You know what is another fun thing that I, might cut from this episode, but I'm just gonna tell you on camera in case.
Do it.
Since I've been posting and sharing on my Instagram and shit.
What? Tell me.
A lot of old lovers
responding
to to the stories.
You told me about
Well,
that
I told
one.
you about that one. Well, there was a freshie today.
They're coming out of the woodwork.
There was a freshie today, and you know.
Yes, I know him.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I know. I was like, oh, hey.
I was going to say somebody else.
Wait, who? No. I don't think he has an Instagram, and I don't follow him if he
For
did,
real,
you
and he'd be
know?
blocked if
Yeah,
he... Yeah,
so that's not an issue. No, this was more of a fun tryst. But yeah,
Yeah.
I said, oh, hey.
God, if only I actually cut
Well,
that.
if you...
Cut that out. That's exciting.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, so far, the podcast, we're on a steady incline.
And I'm having a blast.
And I'm having a blast.
This-
We're
I
having
mean,
a bunch of fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. It's cool to sit down with you for like a couple hours a week and just
Yeah.
like check the fuck out.
But
But
you
for the
know
most
what?
part, I'm having fun.
That's good, because you do have the kind of... Well, I guess we both have annoying burdens, but
Yeah,
I do
you
think yours
definitely
is,
do.
like, rough. Because you have to invest in the book, and if it turns
For
out that
sure.
you hate the book, like,
Yep.
you have to read that. 'cause
Which
we're
was
talking
this was
about
another
it.
one that was not secondhand, and this was it doesn't say, but I think this one was $25. They were fucking expensive, dude. It's like a ream of paper. I mean, I don't really have any updates. The only update I have is that I wear watches now.
How did I not notice? I just thought it was a friendship bracelet because you told me about the friendship bracelet.
The friendship bracelet, which someone made for me at a low life,
A friend.
at a low point in my life,
At a
not
low life. At a low
And then
life.
I made this friendship bracelet because I'm getting into making friendship bracelets, and you can roast me. You're
I'm
allowed.
not roasting you. We talked.
I know
about,
it's a
we
little-
talked about this off camera.
It's a little.
It's yeah, but I just the Swifties were doing that,
Which I fucking hate.
and
you
I
know how I feel
and
about.
I know, and it's like maybe we shouldn't get into that
You're right.
because I think that there's probably a lot of our fans
Certainly don't want to marginalize.
that are Swifties.
Yep.
And more power to you.
For sure.
It's just that you wouldn't want to false advertise on accident, and people think that you had Swiftie friends with bracelets.
I wouldn't.
Friendship bracelets.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But I
want
see
that.
yours as more as like candy from like a rave or
There you go.
something,
Well, I ordered a bunch of evil eyes. I'm gonna make
Yes,
cuter
yeah,
ones,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
gonna get
yeah,
into
yeah.
the
They don't say, like,
fabric ones.
1987 or whatever.
No,
Is
and
that
I
one?
realize they're.
Don't, just like it.
Thank you. I do like
Yeah.
it. Also, but aside, watches. I now wear watches,
And that's a classy
Doesn't
watch.
this watch
Emerald.
look cool,
Yeah, and it matches the microphone.
dude? Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It looks good. I like it. It looks nice with my
You
work.
look like a young
clothes.
professional.
It looks nice with my work
Yeah.
clothes, which I'm also buying a lot of.
Well,
But you know what?
you're a businesswoman.
Yeah, I am. I guess.
That's fine. I'm losing my job next month, so
You are losing your job in almost exactly a month. But
a little bit more.
Sure.
A little bit more, and I'll take it.
Sure.
And I will take it.
35 days.
Ish.
um,
What are you gonna do?
right, but things will work out.
Yeah, things will work out.
Things
I got
work
great
out.
news.
Right.
You know,
Things work out.
Yeah, things work out. I'm
I'm
dating someone who might be able to pay my bills. I might be a
Right.
kept man for a little bit. I'm
God,
really
that'd
looking
be
forward to that.
so
Like
cool.
3 months of kept man.
If you could be a kept man for 3 months.
Yeah, and it's like
Oh
I
my
get it.
God.
I'm a man to keep.
Sure.
I cook.
You are a catch.
I'm funny.
You're a
I
little bit
put
of
it
an
down.
asshole, though.
Well, there's two sides to every fucking coin. You want everything to be good. Be
Right.
realistic.
right.
I'm not perfect. You're right. I'm close, but I'm not perfect. I sew.
You can.
Hello?
Dude, I mean, you have a lot going for
I
you.
do shit. All right, let's get into this book.
All right, let's get into
Let's
this
go.
book.
Title.
So this is gonna be an interesting episode for people, and I have to do this. I have
And
to
I
give
think you should.
I have to give a trigger warning
You
because this book is not for everybody. I have to give a trigger warning out. It's a very, very dark romance. The book is called Den of Vipers, so just everyone be aware.
Oh, right.
The
The race car book.
race car
the race,
book.
the street, the
That you
Midnight
thought,
Club.
yeah, that's what your prediction was,
Yeah,
just
Fast and
based off.
Furious.
Yep. So trigger warning: torture, pain, death, blood, knife, and gun kinks. All right,
That's
now
nice.
the trigger warning's out of the way, and if this episode is not for you, then that's fine. The next episode's going to
Yeah.
be cute and fun again,
So just like and subscribe. Comment this wasn't for me.
and then
And
come
keep it
back
moving,
next
and
week.
we'll see you next week.
Okay, so do you want to read the back of the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo, and Diesel, the Vipers. They run this town and everyone in it. What do you mean? This is what I said last week. Okay. They run this town and everyone in it. Their deals are as sordid as their business, and their reputation is enough to bring a grown man to his knees, forcing him to beg for mercy. They are not the people you mess with, yet my dad did. The old man ran up a debt with them and then sold me to cover his losses? Dude, what? Yes, he sold me. They own me now. I'm theirs in every sense of the word, but I've never been meek and compliant. These men, they look at me with longing, their scarred, blood-stained hands holding me tight. They want everything I am, everything I have to give, and won't stop until they get just that. They can own my body, but they will never have my heart. The vipers, I'm going to make them regret the day they took me. This girl, she bites too.
She sure does.
Oh, you know, honestly, like from reading the back of that, that's not the worst like back
I know.
I've had to read. This,
I know.
I'm kind of like, oh, cool. Like she's gonna be strong and fight them.
You're not wrong. This book is interesting.
How is this not about a car gang?
It is a mafia romance.
Okay, I was really close.
And they have a lot of fancy cars. And
a lot of mafia stuff.
Oh, dude, the mafia dark romance thing is huge.
Well, I feel like it's because it's like it's an excuse
It's a
for them
thing.
to be criminals.
It is.
So it's like you can believe the bad stuff they're
Yep.
gonna do to you,
Yep.
but also like they have honor. So there's like the
Right.
green flag
Right,
of like
right.
an honorable criminal.
Right. So right off the bat, you're correct. I mean, that does sound cool. And so this book I give 2.65 stars.
Wow, just barely above
2.5.
After.
Yeah. Certainly above After.
Well, that's something.
But by just,
Marginal.
yeah. Spice 5 out of
Okay.
5 for sure. And it's gonna get crazy. So just
Okay, that's good. I like
buckle
when it gets crazy.
up. It's fun to get crazy.
It's
It's
fun
a
to
book.
get crazy. Well, it's like why
Let
we're reading
loose.
smut is because like it's just words.
Oh, and this to me is the epitome of smut.
Okay. That's you're getting me like
Yeah.
revved up for something good, but you already said this is a do not
well,
read.
let me tell you. No, not that it's a do not read. It's that it's like don't read the fucking last 45%. The first 40% of this book was so, and which by the way is 640 pages.
Yeah, it's a
70
big one.
chapters.
It's a hunker.
This should have been the standard 375 pages,
Yeah.
and it would have been a fucking 4.5 star read.
Huh.
But because she just drug it on and on and on, it's now a 2.65 read.
It's hard to edit yourself.
Jesus. So the first 40%, I was reading this book on my couch, straight up giggling, kicking my feet, closing it, looking at the cover, being like, oh my God, like this was so good. I was
It's heartbreaking
fucking
that it goes
loving.
south.
Oh, you don't even know, Paul. I was heartbroken.
Because the
Loved.
cover, as
Cover's-
cheesy as it is,
I think the cover's
it's
sick.
cool.
That's
I think
a
it's
black
cool.
skull. You have a skull
You
just
know
like
I
that?
love skulls.
Yes, skull with the snake.
No, I had to get rid of it. It was covered in
Oh.
glitter, and I couldn't fucking live like that anymore.
Right. Well, and glitter
everywhere.
You can't
It was everywhere.
glitter off anything. The spice creativity is an A+.
Okay.
Okay, creative spice.
It's got the bits.
Yes.
It just needed like that third or fourth slim down.
It really did really badly. The female main character I loved her in the beginning. I was like, this is fucking right. Like, this bitch ain't going down without a fight.
Okay. And has
And
a
then she
personality?
became insufferable,
don't they always?
intolerable, unbearable by the end. I was like, this bitch is dumb.
You know, we've all met him.
We sure have.
Love him at first, and then something happens.
Something happens. I honestly feel like someone wrote the other half of this book. Someone else wrote the other half of this book. So, getting into it, we get our introduction to the Viper brothers. Now, they are called brothers, last name Viper.
Are they blood brothers?
I'm Diesel, Garrett, Ryder, and Kenzo. Ryder and Kenzo are full blood brothers. Garrett and Diesel they're just friends.
Yeah.
That they call each other brothers.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 actual brothers. There is no sword crossing in this book as well, like there was in mine.
Oh, okay. What's that movie where it's like 4 brothers that aren't blood related brothers, like kind of in the like projects?
Is
or
it 4
something?
brothers?
Oh yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
back to
accurate.
you.
They're the Viper brothers. The Viper Mafia runs this city. I'm
What
picturing
city?
Gotham.
Oh, okay,
I'm
cool.
picturing Gotham
Okay,
City.
I get you.
However,
Liberty City.
However, it is this is an English book. Like it's got all English
Governor.
spellings. Yep, and they say things like wanker and darling and love. So this is and
So-
they spell color like COLOUR. So this is
Oh my God.
so this is an English book. So if you want to picture like
It's hard for me to picture them having guns.
true, because it's not in America.
Yeah.
I would say just picture like a. I'm just saying Gotham City, man. Garrett is the enforcer, the muscle. Kenzo is the dealer. He is he's ahead of all the casinos.
Okay. This is doing it for me so far.
Yeah. Oh, it did it for me.
And these are such porno names.
Oh,
Diesel.
and Paul, wait till I get to the descriptions of these men. Diesel is the Grim Reaper, they call him. He is the one who tortures you.
Oh
and
my
he
God.
likes to torture. And Ryder is the face of the Viper. He's the businessman. He's always wearing a suit. But don't be fooled by his suit, okay? Garrett is the enforcer.
Okay.
Okay?
I like that.
Yeah. Like, picture 6'4",
Tatted
jacked
up.
gorilla, tatted up.
Oh,
Tight fade.
I bet he doesn't read good either.
No, he definitely doesn't. So Diesel is
hate
like
it.
blonde, 6'7", jacked, and just crazy insane,
I hate how
tatted
long
up.
his hair is.
Well, he's got long hair, so get over it.
In my head,
And then
in my head,
Ryder-
Diesel fully had a bald head.
No.
Like shaved skin bald head.
No.
With like tattoos on it.
I actually prefer the...
I'm sure you do.
No, you don't. Anyway.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway.
Okay.
Ryder, the main guy, is like... They're all like 6'5". And then he's like brunette, wears tight-fitting suits, huge, jacked, also tatted everywhere.
Okay.
And then Kenzo is kind of similar to him. They're brothers, you know. So just picture brunette, smart, like tight beard, just hot. How the book opens is they are torturing a man named Rob. And
Fuck Rob.
Yep, big time.
What did he do?
Don't know.
Oh.
He owes them a debt, which is like everybody. They're like, you know what this means now, Rob. I know, I owe you. Oh my God. He's like panicking. He's like torturing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Just take my daughter. Just take her. Just take my daughter. You can have my daughter. It like just jumps like right into it.
Straight people are wild.
And he's like, she owns this bar called Roxers. It's on the rough side of town. You can find her there. And just sells out his daughter right away. That's it.
You can't just sell someone when you're like...
You sure can in Gotham City, baby.
I guess so.
So then we get our intro to Roxy. She's got like dyed silver hair.
Okay.
She's tatted up
Okay.
all over. Hot.
Yeah.
You know, got like thick thighs. So she's at her bar. She's closing up. And
Washing a glass.
With a
just rag.
Yep, exactly. And these 4 men show up in her bar. She tells everybody like, all right, get the fuck out, closing time.
Yeah.
And she warns them like, hey, you better get the F out of here, otherwise
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Shotgun behind the bar.
Bat.
And
these men, by the way, are not the 4 brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
okay,
they're
okay,
goons that have
okay,
been sent there to kidnap her.
Yeah.
So she gets her baseball bat out and she warned a man, but they didn't listen. She kind of like dials someone like while she's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know, she's still alone. But she proceeds to kick the shit out of all of them. Beat
Hell
them
yeah.
with this fucking baseball bat.
This is a strong start.
Yes, it is. Then finally, like after she's beat the shit out of them, one of her coworkers, like who she dialed, comes and like helps her drag the bodies out into the alley. And she calls the cops.
But they're alive.
They're alive.
Okay.
But she calls the cops and she's like, "There's some, riffraff here
Yeah.
at the bar. They're in the alley.
I did your job for you. Why don't you come pick them up? Real fucking
Exactly.
Spider-Man-y shit.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very comic book. Now I'm all comic book about this book.
I'm into that
Yeah.
vibe. The next day, Ryder,
I hardly know her.
he learns that she's fucked up 4 of his goons and that they're all in jail.
And he's like, turned on?
Of course,
Like, wouldn't you be like so
of course.
hot for that?
Well, time out. You're getting
Okay.
ahead of yourself. And they have a file on her, so they're like opening Roxy's file. They're like looking at her pictures, and Diesel's like, "Oh man, she's so hot. I didn't know Rob's daughter would be so hot. My dick's all hard now just by looking at pictures of her. There's crazy
Good thing
shit.
she's ours.
Exactly. See, you're getting
Sorry,
it.
I know. Honestly,
no, I
the
love
more
it.
and more we smut about it, I'm just like,
Yeah, he's like,
I'm in
he's
that.
exactly. He's like, this girl's gonna be mine. They're like, well, obviously we're gonna have to go do this job ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we hear them talking about meeting with the the triad tomorrow over treaty issues. Next day, Roxy lives above the bar, by the way.
God, that's so cool.
It is. She owns it. She goes down there and she's opening up and a cop comes in and a cop is like, girl, I don't know what you got yourself into, but those men that were out here, they've already been bailed out and they've been bailed out by some pretty scary people. And if I was you, I would get the F out of town.
She knows about the Viper Gang, right? Everybody
She knows about the Viper
Gang.
Gang. She just has no clue that that's who those men were.
Right. She didn't see the Viper tattoos.
I don't think the goons had any.
But there are Viper tattoos, aren't there?
Obviously.
Dude.
Obviously, Paul.
We're both quitting our jobs.
Yep.
And writing smut.
We could.
We're in it.
You know
This
they
is
have
practice. We're training.
Right. You know they have, what is that called?
Co-authors?
I don't know. I think
Co-authors?
I think there's a different word. Anyway, he's like, you should get out of town, dude. And she's like, please.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
can handle
scared.
these goons.
Cop leaves and then boom, in walk the Vipers, all 4 of them. And they come in and she's like,
Hot.
damn, these men are scary. And
And
now she knows who they are. And she's like, wow, they're so hot, but fuck, I'm in trouble. Then it goes back to like the guy's perspective. They're at a meeting with the triad and they're like, you're going to concede to us or you're going to die. We run this town, not you. You used to run this town, but you don't anymore. So lay down, bend the knee or die kind of thing. Anyway, they go back to Viper Industries skyscraper.
Okay. Dude. Okay. I'm like, this is Gotham, that you're 100% correct.
And they live in the penthouse,
Yeah,
obviously.
Top.
So they go back to Viper Industries skyscraper to pick up Diesel, and so they can go kidnap Roxy.
Go pick her up.
Yeah.
Who's going to swing by a Scooby up?
When they go to pick up Diesel, he is in the bowels of the skyscraper, and that is his lair down there. That's
Dude,
his torture
that is
chamber.
so-
So I'm picturing like
not
red
the
lights or
torture.
orange lights. Yeah.
I was like, that is badass. The bowels of buildings are my fucking favorite. When we
Yep.
worked at the mall,
Yes,
that
dude.
was my
It was
favorite.
fun.
Running around back there and just doing like...
When my mom
Shit.
worked at the Abbey, and I just ran around the
I
basement
love
of a
being
monastery.
backstage of things.
Yes.
Just like the place where the people that are putting it on go.
Right.
That's where I want to be.
Me too. Anyway, so they go down there to get Diesel. He's down there and is torturing Larry. He's torturing another man. And they're just like, all right, we're going to go pick up this girl. Like, nobody do anything crazy. We're just picking her up. Like, don't kill her right away. We want to
Torture
mess
her
with her
first.
for a little
Yeah.
while. We want to
wanna
torture
be
her
sick,
first.
Sadistic freaks.
Exactly. And they literally say that in the book.
Oh, okay.
They're like, we want to play with her first. Which I
don't-
hate that word.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the word torture because that's what it was.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so cut back to Roxy in the bar. They're there. Ryder, they all have nicknames for her instantly. Ryder calls her Love. Kenzo calls her Darling. Diesel calls her Little Bird. And Garrett calls her Nothing, and you will find out why.
Because she's nothing to him.
They explain that they're there because her dad sold her, and she's like, she doesn't have a choice. They're just like, you're going to come with us. You do not have a choice. You're ours now. You belong
you
to
were
us
selling
now.
adults. Like I could see. No, never mind. I'm like, your parents allowed to sell you when you were a kid, but when you're like, you got your own life.
Yeah. So she puts up a fight. She like knocks Diesel in the face, and Diesel really gets off on like,
Getting hit.
yep, and hitting other people. And so he's like, ooh, she punched him in the nose and he bleeds, and he's like all into it and shit. And Ryder's just like, listen, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And she's like, we're gonna do it the hard way. And she tries to put up a fight, and she starts hitting them, and they're all like, oh my god, this girl is so tough. I love how tough this girl is.
And
then they knock her out.
Don't like this.
And then they knock her out.
Just the power dynamics here. I hate.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the dark part about it.
Ew,
Yeah.
Spooky. Okay.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
that's the whole
not
thing.
it for me. But I mean, whatever. Teach their own.
Exactly. It's a book. Have a little fun.
I'm having fun, and I'm so scared for
I'm
this
kidding.
to go
I know.
bad.
I know. Anyway, so they get some of her shit from upstairs, and they just keep Diesel specifically. He is the sick and demented one. Like, just
Okay.
understand. He's
Well, his name's
sick.
Diesel.
Yeah, he's sick and
And he has long hair.
sick and twisted.
Freak.
Yeah. And so he keeps talking a lot about her. Like, he's going through her underwear and shit like that. And he's like, oh my God, I'm rock hard already. And Kenzo and Ryder, the two real brothers, they're talking to each other, and they're like, okay, we're going to really have to keep an eye on Diesel because he's insane. He's killed some women before. He's crazy.
Okay.
Paul, the amount of death
We're
in this
getting
book
crazy.
is, I just want you to understand the
getting
amount
crazy.
of death. Paul, you don't need, that's,
I mean,
Paul,
I'm
that's
fine.
nothing.
I'm
Paul, that's
fine.
nothing.
I'm just saying, like,
That's
this
nothing.
is definitely a step darker than,
It's-
like, mine.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
it's way darker
'Cause
than mine.
I was like,
that
oh,
was nothing,
it's
Paul.
dark. This is
the
dark.
That's why I said this
like,
is the epitome.
This
That's
is
why I
like
said
a
that.
snuff film.
Yes, it is. It is. And that is why I gave trigger warnings
Yeah.
and why I said
Trigger
it's a
warnings,
2.65 read because it goes places that I'm not going. Anyway.
You went.
Well, I did.
You're already back.
I've been
come
there.
back.
Anyway, so she wakes up in this big, huge, beautiful bedroom. So picture a penthouse, huge, fancy bedroom, armoires, blah, blah, blah. She tries to leave, but the door's locked from the outside. So she's like looking around, panicking. She's like, well, I'm going to trash this place. Smashes a lamp and like cuts her hand after she smashed it. And like, so, and then like takes the knife or takes the like glass from the lamp and is like slashing the down blankets and down pillows and the mattress and like shit's going everywhere. Her blood's all over the place. And
someone's into blood.
Ryder walks in. He's like, well, get used to it, babe, because you're not going anywhere. You live here now. And she tries to stab him with the glass, but he grabs her, puts the glass to his throat and cuts him a little bit. And he's like, bitch, I'm not scared.
Because do it. I like it.
Uh-huh. And he just like locks her back in the room. She lies down and has a flashback. She lies down and is like, scared. She's like, what do I do? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
What's happening? What do I do? And then she has a flashback to her childhood. Her dad would get drunk and like beat the shit out of her when she was a kid.
Fuck her dad,
when he came home from the casino after losing money. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's a piece of shit, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, clearly he sold his daughter like that.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you, she's like 25.
That's too old to get sold.
It is.
Okay.
I know. I just wanted to set that precedent. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's nice, though.
Yep.
It is nice that she's not 17 3/4.
I know. Dear God. Okay, so she kind of like falls asleep. She's like laying down in front of the window, and that's when we get the flashback nightmare thing. And then she hears someone come in her room, and she turns around and Diesel's in her room.
Oh, no.
And she's like, fuck, this is bad. And he's like harassing her, teasing her, and then he sees the cut on her hand and like digs his thumb into the cut on her hand.
Oh my God.
And he's just like toying with her. And then Garrett comes in and is like, all right, get the fuck out.
All right, time's up.
Uh-huh. And so Garrett like fixes her hand up or whatever and is like being kind of nice to her. And she's just like, why are you doing this to me? And he's like, just go to bed, and then leaves.
I'm like, can we do something else? Can you like take a portion of my bar's profits?
Right.
Or like, can we do something that doesn't require me to stay in this room?
All right. So it's the next morning. It's the first morning she's there, and they're like, you need to come out here for breakfast with us.
What's for breakfast? Pretty hungry.
Something salty and something sweet, I hope.
Ooh.
Yep. And she doesn't eat. She just sits there. She's like, I'm not eating. Like, I can't. I'm sick being here.
A hostage.
Exactly. She's like, well, what are you guys going to do with my bar? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Ryder's like, we might keep it open for you.
That's her sweat and
But
tears.
we'll decide.
She opened a business.
Uh-huh. Well, she didn't.
Oh.
She inherited it. That goes, I'll tell you later.
Well, even more. It's a family business.
Not family, but anyway. He and Ryder, now he's like looking at her and he's just like, God, I like this girl.
Like in like a sweet way or in a bad way?
In a sweet way.
Okay.
He's just like, I'm into this woman. But she's too wild for me, so I'm not going to touch her. So Ryder, Diesel, and what's the other one?
Kenzo.
Oh, Ryder, Diesel, and Garrett leave. And so she's there with Kenzo all day, which tends to be what happens. They
hangs
leave.
out with him a lot. He's the babysitter.
Kenzo's very level-headed. He's not crazy. He's not like a.
I mean, he's
so to speak.
Fine with this kidnapping and all that.
So to speak. So Kenzo like goes out on their big, massive like. I'm picturing like a Manhattan apartment that has a huge patio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he goes out on the patio to take a call, and she's like snooping around. She can't get out because they have hand scanners everywhere. To get in the door and out of the door, you have to scan. It's biometric, so she can't leave.
She's gonna have to cut off someone's hand.
But he just like leaves her in this massive penthouse. So she goes snooping through everyone's bedroom. She gets to Ryder's room and gets to his closet and slashes all his suits. Like got a pair of scissors and just slashes all his suits up shit. She's like, I'm feeling rebellious. I don't give a fuck.
I get it. I get the impulse.
I would have taken the scissors and just killed Kenzo.
But yeah, I'm just like, we're not.
But then they would have killed her.
Smart.
Right.
I'm just like, that's not getting me
out of here.
Of this situation.
Yeah. So she goes to his room, slashes up all his like $1,000 suits and shit. She opens up Diesel's room and is like, okay, this is insane.
Yeah.
Closes it.
Like fucking,
it's gnarly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she's like closing that. And then she goes into Garrett's room and she's snooping around and she gets into his bedside table and she sees like a big, huge diamond engagement ring.
For who?
And Kenzo walks in and is like, put that away now. You should not be in Garrett's room.
Oh. Is it a lover that's dead?
And
he never got to propose?
Kenzo, I mean, I love all these guesses, but you'll never guess the twist. Kenzo is like, you need to get the fuck out of Garrett's room. Garrett is not like me and the others. He hates women. So put that ring back and leave and just chill out with Garrett.
Did someone give him that ring back?
And then he's like, why aren't you scared of us? So she does. She puts the ring back, and then they're like walking back out to the living room. Whatever. He's like, "Why aren't you scared of us?" And she's like,
terrified.
"Well, yeah." She's like, "Well, I am."
What do you mean? It's like not in the
But
position
she's just
of power.
putting. But she's just putting on a front that she's not scared.
Yeah, I get that every day of my life.
Anyway, so they end up hanging out on the couch watching TV. She falls asleep, and obviously he's looking at her like, "Ew, oh my god," ogling her, whatever. She wakes up, and it's nighttime. She is like, "Oh fuck, those guys are going to be back soon," and Ryder is going to see that I've slashed his clothes. Like, I'm freaked out. The guys get back home, and Kenzo says, "Oh, they're like, where's little bird?" But Diesel says, and
little bird. What was it from the other book? Little mouse.
I
don't like all these
don't
little
get
animals.
it. I know, it's very weird.
Yeah.
What is the little animal
It's very
thing?
like nurturing me that I don't like that they're turning it into scary.
Interesting. Okay. Kenzo's like, she's hiding from you guys.
Yeah.
And then she snooped through your room, and so Ryder goes in his room, and Garrett goes in his room, and Garrett's like, I can smell her. I can smell that she was in here. He immediately gets an angry hard on.
Oh, but it turns him on to be that mad.
Exactly.
These motherfuckers.
I know. And he goes into the shower and jerks off thinking about her.
Great.
Yep. And then as he's coming out of the shower, he can like hear her out there screaming. He's like just in a towel, and he opens his door and sees her like running down the hallway towards him, and right behind her is Ryder like holding all of his clothes in shambles or whatever. And so she like runs into Garrett, and then like they get into his room. And he like pushes her up against the wall and is like, "Why do you think I'll save you?"
That's what I say, dude.
He goes, "Why do you think I'll save you?" And then he like starts choking her. And as he's choking her, he's seeing another woman's face. He's not seeing her face. He's seeing some other woman's face.
Ooh, baggage.
And so Ryder comes running in, and he's like, "Stop, stop, stop. It's not her, Garrett. Jesus, fucking take it easy." At that point, Roxy loses all control and is just like, "Just kill me.
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Do what you're gonna do.
Just for real. End it already. Just kill me." And Ryder goes, "You don't order us around." She was like, "You know what? Fine. You're going to rue the day that you ever fucking kidnapped me."
Shit on the floor.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I would do.
Can't stop me from doing that.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea. If you ever get kidnapped, just be insane. Just piss and shit everywhere. Oh my god, that's such a good idea, Paul. She goes into her room. She's like, "You're gonna rue the day." And then Garrett is like so enraged because he almost like killed her. He needs to go and fight. He used to be a professional MMA fighter, but now he just like underground street fights for money.
Right.
We hear from his perspective, he's a little suicidal. He's like, I wish someone he's not right. Yeah. He's like, I just wish someone would kill me in one of these fights. But he ends up like kicking the shit out of everybody. Cut to Roxy's in her room, and she's like, "God, that was kind of hot when Garrett pushed me up against the wall."
Well, she had a rough childhood.
She's a little turned on by it. Anyway, she slips out of her room and she eavesdrops on Kenzo and Ryder talking about Garrett, and they're talking about the incident, which we don't know what that is. Ryder says to Kenzo, "Do you think it would have been better for everyone if we just let Garrett?" And Kenzo cuts him off and is like, "No, shut the fuck up. He's our family. We protect each other." Ryder's like, "Well, I'm hoping having Roxy here will shake Garrett up a little bit." And Kenzo's like, "You knew that when you brought her here. Sometimes you're just like our dad. I love you, but you're not him, but sometimes you're just like him." So now we're getting some daddy issues.
This is Ryder and Kenzo,
yep,
so
we're
they
brothers.
have their brothers.
So now we're hearing about some daddy issues. Diesel catches her spying on them. And he's like, "Oh, little bird, I caught you spying. You're going to need to be punished."
Oh, God. Come into my fucking scary den.
And she's like all scared. She's like, "Oh, my God." And she runs in her room and he doesn't follow her. Then the next day she's staying with Kenzo again. And a little bit later, Diesel leaves and she sees Diesel leaving. And Kenzo again is out on the patio on a phone call. And she's like, "I'm going to fucking just try and put my foot in the door while Diesel," and she does. So she puts her foot in the door and she's like, "This is my chance. I'm going to get out of here." And since they're in the penthouse, when you walk out the door, it's just kind of like an elevator.
Yeah, right.
Bank.
It's
There's
a lobby.
but there's 4 elevators. They all only go down, obviously. She can't get in the elevator because it's biometrics. So she runs into the stairwell, runs all the way down. She can't get onto any floor. All the doors are locked. But finally she gets all the way down to the bottom and she's in the parking garage. She's like, "I'm just going to go in the booth and try to like open the garage door. Like I'm just going to try and get out of here." But she can't. So she finds some car keys and there's like all these nice cars, like huge
Yeah.
nice cars, and she gets this keys to like this Mercedes or whatever. She clicks it, she gets in there, and just as she gets in the car, starts driving the car towards, she's gonna try and ram the gate open, like big pillars come up from the ground and sirens. You know, they figured out that she's gone. She's like, oh my God. And she had found a crowbar in the little like booth where the parking garage attendant is. She gets out of the car just as the sirens are happening and the pillars are coming up in front of her, and she can see like Kenzo and Diesel, who she thought left, behind her. And so she gets the crowbar and she just starts like smashing this car to shit, like breaking the windows, getting on top of it, going crazy.
Yeah. Bust the windows out your car, yeah.
Exactly. And then like on the next side of the garage, car rolls in. It's Ryder and Garrett. And so all four of them are there watching her do this. And they're just like, are you done?
Yeah.
Are you fucking done being
your
bad?
Little fit, your little hissy fit.
Yep. Ryder takes her into the elevator. He's like, don't push me, love. He calls her love.
I don't like it. I don't like the nicknames.
He's like, you're going to have to be punished. He tells Diesel that he can have her for the rest of the day.
Ooh. But he's the scary one.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Okay, what does he do? Okay.
I don't think much just yet. He's like, let's go down to my lair and have some fun.
Yeah, let's.
So he takes her down there and he has someone chained up that he's torturing. And it's
work in progress.
Someone who apparently tried to kill Garrett, because apparently people have been out for Garrett.
Because Garrett did something.
Yeah, something happened.
Something happened.
Right.
With his fiancée.
Yep. And so he just kind of makes her like watch him torture this guy, which is super graphic. I'm not going to get into it at all. But I'm going to let you know it's graphic. The guy passes out.
Okay.
And Diesel like saunters over to Roxy, who's sitting on a counter, and she starts asking him questions. What are your guys' roles? What do you guys do? Like, tell me more about you guys. And he's like, I'll give you some info if you surrender.
Oh, okay. I thought he was, wanted to break her. So
well,
that's a little bit nicer than I thought it could go.
And he goes, I see in your eyes that you're just like us. You're just as broken as we are, Roxy. And you need to give in to that and feel free.
Yeah.
You're vicious just like us, and you need to admit it to yourself. Also, I'll give you information on us if you give me a kiss.
Oh, well, that's cute.
She gives him a kiss, and he's like, all right, a little bigger, please. A little more of a kiss. And so they kiss, and he's all grinding on her, and it's like a hot kiss.
Okay.
It's like, okay, I'll tell you a little bit about us. And that's when he tells, like, he's the Grim Reaper, Ryder's the fucking face, blah, blah, blah. She's trying to get intel on them to see how she can work them,
That's smart. That's how you get out of one of these situations.
And then eventually the guy wakes up and Diesel kills him, and Roxy doesn't look away, and Diesel thinks that's really hot that she's watching him torture this guy.
But he kills him?
Oh, yeah, kills him.
Okay.
Super kills him.
And what's her reaction to seeing this person
Her
die?
reaction was like, I'm not looking away. Why am I not looking away? This is so fucked up that I'm not looking away. And
so
also, and she's also like, why does Diesel look so hot while he's torturing this guy? That was a good question. So yeah, she's having thoughts like that. First of all, she was having thoughts about Garrett throwing her up against the wall. Now she's having thoughts about Diesel torturing this guy.
Well, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'd like to get thrown up against a wall.
For sure, that's not that crazy.
Versus
watching someone kill someone.
The life leave someone's
For
eyes.
sure.
And that got me going.
Yes. Later that night, she's mulling over what Diesel said about he saw something in her that is a part of him and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, all right, I'm going to go along with their shit, gain intel, try to use it against them. That night, they're having dinner, and she's just, they're having good banter. Everyone's having good banter. She's talking to them. She's like roasting them and being sassy, and they're all like, ooh, this girl, she's, whatever.
I don't know. We're having family dinner, and it's a hostage situation?
Yes, Paul. She's theirs now. She's one of them.
I guess, to them, it's not a hostage.
It's not a hostage situation, but it is.
It is a hostage situation, 100%.
So at dinner, she's like, what are you guys up to? Tell me what you're working on.
Yeah, what are we doing tonight?
What are we doing?
What are we doing tonight, boys?
What's on your agenda? And they are telling her they're looking for an assassin because someone's trying to kill Garrett.
Right.
And they need to find out who it is.
Well, just let it happen. He wants it. He's begging for it.
He is. Her and Kenzo are flirting hard with each other because they're the ones home alone during the day. Yeah. So they're flirting hard. Ryder tells her, he's like, you should go in your room. I bought some new things for you. And so she goes into her room and he bought her like...
negligees.
No. Like ripped, like clothes she would wear. Like,
okay.
Ripped jeans... band tees. I don't fucking know.
Great style.
Whatever, dude.
Hot Topic
Cyber,
employee.
yeah, I don't know. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe he bought me this stuff and I love. He also did buy her fancy dresses and a bunch of jewelry. And then she opens this box and it's gold snake earrings.
Ooh, vipers.
Vipers. She's like, oh my God, they bought me all this stuff. And then as she's like trying on her new clothes, she's thinking about Diesel and her kiss with Diesel and him grinding up on her and how hot it was. And then she's thinking about when she was in the elevator with Ryder and how he was like, don't push me. She's like, I need to get my shit together.
Agreed.
Like, why am I liking these guys?
They kidnapped me.
Agreed.
I'm a victim.
Well, she rubs one out thinking about them.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Well, she's so stressed.
I know.
It's like such a great stress reliever.
Right. Okay, so she wakes up and seemingly everyone is gone. And she has breakfast. She chills on the couch. And then she's like, wait, I'm not trying to fucking escape.
Yeah.
She has that realization.
I mean, yeah.
She's like, listen, I'm not trying to leave. What happened? I just woke up.
That sounds awesome.
I know.
If you take out all the bad parts of this, like you're now a kept woman.
Yes.
Which obviously I support.
Right. So she thinks to herself, oh my God, I'm being Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. This apartment's too nice.
But then she hears someone walking behind her and she turns around and it's Kenzo. And he's shirtless, tatted up. So she's
not home alone.
And wearing gray sweatpants.
Obviously. Schlonging.
Yes, you could just see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, holy shit, this guy is so fucking hot.
Yeah. Here we go.
And then they end up like playing games together. He's like, let's play. She's like, I'm bored. He's like, I'm bored. I don't have any work to do. He's the like gambler.
What are they playing? Sorry?
Well, he was going to be like, let's play strip poker. She's like, I'm not fucking playing you poker. You're a goddamn poker fiend or whatever. And
you're also only wearing one piece of clothing right now. So.
Right. So they end up playing like Flip Cup.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And they're flirting with each other, they're doing it, and it's like she's all horned up. Eventually, after they've been flirting with each other, he like grabs her and pins her down on the couch, playfully like picks her up over the shoulder, throws her on the couch, and like pins her down, and then like starts like teasing her, and then boom, goes down on her. Boom, just like that. She has her
first orgasm
pierced.
Wait, what pierced? Say it.
You say it.
You say it.
You say it.
Clitoris.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do they call that?
I don't know what that's called.
What's the other one for dudes? Prince Albert,
Is that through the tip?
Yeah, right?
Diesel has that.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Of course Diesel has that.
Yeah. So he's going down on her and he's like, oh my God, she's pierced. They like finish and then she like freaks out. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. And like gets up and tries to run away and he like grabs her and he's like, you're not getting away from me that fast. He's like, just admit it. Just admit you're into us.
Yeah, you liked it.
You like this. And then they do it on the floor. Diesel had come home while they were doing it on the floor. And just like watching them do it.
It's a little gay to watch your homie fuck. Right? Am I crazy for thinking that?
I mean, I think it is.
I think it is.
Right? Okay, so now it's like Diesel's perspective and he's like, oh my God, she's so hot. And she's like putting up such a fight. I'm so into that. I can't wait to like have fight sex with her.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So then later that night, after her and Kenzo are done and she's like, get away from me. I can't believe I just had sex with you. She goes in her room. Diesel sneaks in and like cuddles with her that night.
Okay. Diesel.
I know.
What are you doing, cuddling?
I know. All the TikToks about Diesel are so funny. They're like, Diesel or nothing. Like, he's everyone's favorite.
Crazy.
I know. Well, especially when you hear...
Talk therapy, okay?
Okay. While he's cuddling her, he's like, why did you have sex with Kenzo? Like, you wanted to. You have to admit that you like us.
Yeah.
Which she does admit to while they're cuddling.
I do kind of like it here.
She's like, yeah.
Well, the no working is pretty
For sure. Well, and the fancy clothes, it's a fancy apartment, and the food, it's all...
The food's always available. You don't have to go outside.
Sounds good to me, man.
Sex, like...
That's why people, I think, like, because they're like, I've only... And then he's like, I got a little gift for you. Gives her this little knife, and she...
Not what I thought it was going to be.
And he's like...
Stab me.
I hope she... Yes. He's like, please stab me. Please stab me. And she like gets on top of him and like holds it to his neck, and he's like, yeah, I love it. He's got like crazy eyes. But then she like gets off of him. And,
of him.
And then they confide in each other. They're like having a moment.
Yeah, they're definitely having a moment.
And she tells him... She's like, the only man that was ever good to me was this man named Rich, who was kind of like a father figure. He's the only person who ever gave a shit about me. He didn't tell me he was sick. And then one day he was like dying and I held his hand as he died. And he left me the bar, Roxers. That's now my bar. And then he tells her about his mom. She was a drug runner and she was murdered one day. She was like beaten but she wasn't dead. And then they like burned her in their
Alive.
in his house when he was a kid, like a teenager-ish.
What?
He has a thing for burning people. I forgot to tell you.
What?
And this is why, because he's like trying to get revenge on the people that burned his mom.
By burning
Other people.
other people.
Yeah. Because,
Seriously, man.
yeah.
Talk therapy.
Yep.
I say not in therapy.
Oh, right. At all.
Running away from therapy at every chance
sure.
I get. I'm just preaching it.
You are.
I believe in it.
You do.
I don't believe in myself.
But you won't. There you
That's
go.
what it is.
That's what it is. So anyway, they confide in each other. They bond over how fucked up they are. And he's like, just admit that you're like us. You're one of us.
That's how I've bonded with every man I've ever been with.
Yeah. He leaves her alone for the rest of the night and nothing happens.
Gentlemen.
Yep. So then the next morning, Ryder's like looking at her, still thinking that he's like, God, I want her, but I can't have her because she's crazy and she's wild and she'll tear us apart at the seams.
Well, I mean, seriously, you're going to Yoko Ono.
For sure.
You guys are asking for it.
For sure, right? At breakfast, they're talking about needing to find this assassin. And I'm just warning you, things are going to get repetitive here quick. I'll try to move quickly. So they're talking about needing to find this assassin. And Roxy's like, listen, I know a lot of seedy type of people because I owned this dive bar and they were always in there drinking. They wouldn't keep their mouths shut.
Why don't you let me go back home to my bar?
Well, she's like, why don't you just let me help you today? Let me ride along with you. And they're like, fuck it. Just come with us, dude.
A little ride along. They're
Yep.
not cops.
And so she's like, I need your phone to make a connection with this guy. Like, I'm going to call him and say, we're looking for an assassin. You know, let's go see this guy, Tiny.
So she
Tiny
just
will give you
knows
some
people's
info.
phone numbers
She
without
does.
her phone.
She does.
That's the most unbelievable part about this book so far.
So far. She is like, take me to Tiny's. I know this guy. He'll give you a hookup on how to find.
And he's a really big guy.
Yeah,
But his
obviously.
name's Tiny.
Obviously. They take off to this guy's house. Ryder's kind of like watching her with Kenzo and Diesel, like as they're in the car driving, and he's like, God, they're really like chummy together.
Jealous.
They're really, they're like, he's thinking to himself, she's got these two wrapped around her finger.
She's going to get out of here because of it.
Yeah, he's like, something bad's going to come from this. So he's just kind of keeping an eye on that,
Smart.
you know? So they go and see this guy, Tiny, and Tiny's like, I heard there's some next level assassin dude in the country, German, no clue who he is, but I heard he's been around town looking for the Vipers.
Not a very good assassin.
No. So they get that intel as they're leaving Tiny's. Boom, boom, boom. Shots right out.
Well, you're out in the
streets. Yep. Roxy's like right behind Garrett, and she can see he's got a gun like in his back. So she like grabs the gun and she like pew, pew, kills two guys.
Oh, so she's that kind of bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, she's that kind of bitch.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, fuck yeah, she is.
She waits for you on the outside when you're doing time.
Yep. They're like shooting everybody. They're like, get in the car. She shoots a couple people, blah, blah, blah. So they all make it alive into the car. Garrett's like, just hold on to that gun for now.
You're crazy. Pop, pop, pop.
I know, right?
Me? I'm kidnapped.
I know. Now I'm the Queen Viper.
Yeah.
Y'all are dead.
Oh,
I own this
leave
penthouse.
one of them alive. Who's the
Yes.
weakest?
Kenzo.
Leave him alive.
They're like, hold on to the gun for now. We must have been followed here. Like otherwise how would people know that we were here? We had to have been followed. They're like, let's go to Rizzo's for lunch. We could talk to Red. Red will give us some intel. And this is like a place where mafiosos go or whatever.
Yeah.
And eat pizza and pasta. Obviously.
Red wine, the gabagool.
So they get to Rizzo's, and Red's like, let me get some intel. So they're all sitting in this booth. Roxy's like, give me the phone. Let me make another phone call. Let me call somebody. I'm going to figure out. So she dials somebody else and is like, hey, bitch, there was just a shootout at Tiny's. Do you know who it was? And she finds out some other gang has been hired, just in this phone call, to kill if they could. They're basically like, there's bounties on their head, so anybody can take the bounty. The Death Eaters. Hello, is that not copyright infringement on Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Excuse me.
that's who tried to kill them outside of Tiny's. It was the Death Eaters.
Fucking what?
I know.
And then we summoned our Patronus and we fought them off.
Yes.
And Hermione went off with the boys.
Yes.
Like, what is this? This is all just J.K. Rowling.
It is.
These are all her like pseudonyms, and she's just like,
that would be so wild, dude.
That would be so wild.
So anyway, they're sitting at this table, and like Red brings them some wine and takes their order and stuff, and they're just like talking shit. Kenzo, like, he's getting a little close with his hand on her thigh.
Here we go.
All
these books, you cannot have dinner.
No.
You're gonna get
if you're sitting at a table,
blasted.
Finger
Knuckle
blasted
deep with every meal.
So Kenzo finger blasts her under the table.
Okay.
While all three guys watch, like Ryder's watching, Diesel's watching,
It's like
Garrett's
eating spaghetti.
Garrett's watching, even though he doesn't like it, but he's watching.
He likes it.
He likes
He
it.
likes it.
And she's like, oh my God, everybody in the restaurant can see this happening, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Red comes over and he's like, I've got some info for you. There's bounties on your heads. Someone's murmuring that once the Vipers are wiped out, someone new is going to take over the town.
That's just how that
Can I
works.
tell you, Paul?
That's just how that works.
I just need you to understand
Okay.
that all of the intel and info we get for the next 35 chapters is non-info and non-intel. It's every fucking time they're going to be like, yep, there's a bounty on your head.
Someone's after you.
Someone's after you.
I've got news.
Yes.
Someone's after you.
It's painful. So she goes to the house by herself and they're like, we're going to go fuck up the Death Eaters. It's a bloodbath.
This is not how I would handle my business as like a mafia person, but whatever.
Yeah.
Teach their own. Because if I have a bounty out for me, I'm trying to find the person that put the bounty on me, not just now randomly killing groups of people.
They want to eliminate everybody so that nobody can try them.
How do you kill a snake? Vipers. You cut off the head. Are you kidding me?
So we get a bloodbath, crazy action scene, which is, the author does a very good job of describing it. I felt like I was watching a movie while I was reading this. They kill everybody but one guy, and they torture him for information. And they're like, yes, the Triad is the one who's put the bounty out on all of you.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
The Triad wants you dead so they can take over.
But I mean, what like bad PR to be like, we're a big tough Triad gang, but we're hiring other gangs to kill you.
Well, I think what happened was the Triad told them, if you end up killing the Vipers, we'll give you like a section of town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ryder kills that guy after he gives him that intel and cuts him up into a bunch of little pieces. And this is the first scene we get where Ryder's really letting go of control, because Diesel's usually the one that... So now we're seeing that Ryder, although he's the face, he is capable of some shit. So while that's going down, Roxy's back at the penthouse and she's like playing poker with the guards because she's like, I'm bored, play poker with me.
That's smart. Befriend the guards if you want to get out. Every prisoner knows that.
And then like one of the guards is getting pissed at her for like winning every round of poker. And
get fucking good then.
Yeah, get over
Sorry,
yourself.
I have a great poker
baby
face.
back. Yeah. And so he like grabs her hand and he's like, show me your cards. And she's like, no, I'm not showing you my cards. I don't have to show you shit. And he like grabs her hand and is like, show me your cards, you dumb bitch, you stupid whore. And as he says
You're the help. Excuse me.
Excuse the
You're
fuck
not
out of me.
A gang member who has me kidnapped. You're the help.
Right. And as he says that, the guys walked in and saw that go down.
This dude's dead.
Yeah. They're seething.
Fired.
They're walking
Fired
and they
plus.
they see this guy calling her a stupid bitch and
laying
holding
hands.
laying hands. Ryder like strolls over there and she's like, no.
He's like, I just cut a guy up.
She goes, we're just playing a game, man. It's cool. Chill out. It's cool. And he's like, Ryder cuts out his tongue.
If I was her, I would have stood up behind him and like,
you fucked up.
Look what you did.
Yep. Oops.
Who's a dumb bitch whore now?
Yep. Me too.
I'm gonna carve those words into your body. But
you're getting into it.
This is how quickly, if I was kidnapped, that I would flip
Me too,
onto
Paul.
the other side.
Me too.
If the opportunity was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul.
Sorry.
So Ryder cuts out his tongue and smashes his hands with a hammer.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
And then he tells all the guards to leave.
I would not want to see it though.
No. And then Roxy starts baiting him and is like, oh, so someone touches me and they get their hands busted and their tongues cut out? And he's like, yeah, get used to it. You're ours. Hello.
I will get used to it.
That night, Ryder tells all the guards to go. It's just them. And this chapter's from his perspective. And he's like, I am falling in love with this girl. I don't know what's happening to me. Full blown in love. Full blown in love.
Wow.
Yep.
Barely know her.
And he's thinking he'll drop his guard for her. I wanted to punish her, maybe scare her, but I can't seem to help myself. My cock is running the show now.
Dude. Been there.
So in that same breath of what I just said, he also tells all the brothers, all the guys to go away. He's like, go away. Please leave me and Roxy to ourselves, please.
Okay. I didn't know he was my boss, but all right.
Uh-huh. And they do. Then he kind of comes up to her and he's like trying to get into sexy time. And they do. He takes off his belt, spanks her with it a little bit. Well, what happens when someone... obviously.
Yeah. You're either tying me up or you're spanking me.
Yep. And then we get a pretty long, graphic sex scene. He goes, what is she doing to me? We get the what is she doing to me line.
Of course. Would it be a smut book if he didn't say that? No.
And then he takes her to his room and they fall asleep together. So cut to, whatever, like a day or two later, Roxy's noticing that Garrett is like pissy towards her ever since the restaurant.
Because he's like possessive, I feel like. Is
Well,
what
and he's
it
got
really
issues
is.
with
Yeah.
women.
And so he is secretly like in love with her. And it's bringing up all his weird
Obviously.
shit from
I mean,
before.
it's-
I bet he
yeah.
was too possessive with his ex-girlfriend, Beyonce.
You'll find
if
out.
I had to guess.
You'll find out. But he needs to go fight one night, and Roxy's like, well, I want to go with you. And so he's like, fine, you can come to this fight with me, but stay out of my way. And so she goes to this fight, and she sees him
It's nice that
beat
she's
the shit.
like showing interest in everyone's
Isn't it?
like hobbies.
She does
you
care.
know?
She really does.
She's like, if I'm gonna be here, I got nothing to do. I might as well learn about what you guys are doing.
Yes.
So it's like we love a down ass bitch.
She is a down ass bitch. If
Yeah.
she's anything, dude.
If she's
like
anything.
literally. So she sees him like beat the shit out of these guys, and some guy like pushes up on her while he's fighting, and Diesel's there, and Diesel just like kills the guy right then and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Gotham.
Yeah,
This is a video
It
game.
is, exactly. Which was fun.
Yeah.
You know, the cops are in their pocket, so literally all they have to do, and they do make him, I do want to mention this, like, all they do is just call cops and be like, this guy, like, it was,
He fell down.
right.
He's dead.
Yep. Low life.
The morgue must be popping.
Dude.
The crematorium
Damn.
business is
Yes.
so good.
Yes. So then they go back home, and she wants to buck Garrett.
Okay. Death wish.
Death
She has
wish.
a death wish.
And so they're in his room, and he's like, get away from me. Stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I hate girls.
You know, she's like peeling, she's whatever. She's like trying to peel layers of this onion. You know, she's trying to crack
Yeah,
Garrett.
she's Shrekking him.
She's Shrekking him.
Donkey.
Yes,
He's
exactly.
Shrek.
And she like gets his shirt off, and she sees that his chest is mangled as F. Like mangled, gnarly scars. Crazy.
Well, he's a fucking fighter. He's a street
Yep.
fighter.
Well, and she's like, oh my God, what happened? You know, he like grabs her. He's like, don't touch me. Don't touch my chest. He's like getting pissed.
Don't touch my chest.
Yeah.
I love touching chest.
And then he's like, you know what? You want this dick? I'm going to give
You
it
gotta
to
get
you.
with my friends. Well,
And then he like drags her into the shower, and there's an aggressive blowy scene that I will not get
face
into.
fuck
Yeah, I
is
will
what-
not get
yeah.
into it. Whatever. So that's that. Okay.
that's that.
Yeah. So then like the next day we see that Kenzo and Ryder are just going around town, meeting up with people that owe them money, just like taking care of business.
Yeah, working.
Yep.
Some would call it.
Working. And then they end up, they're like, you know what? We should buy some more things for Roxy. We should buy her some more clothes, some more jewelry, some more heels, some more
I'm
purses.
gonna need a gaming PC. I'm gonna need a new chair and desk.
She should make a list.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a webcam because we're streaming.
Yes.
I'm a streamer now.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, if
your
I was being
life?
kidnapped in
And
this
spoiled?
situation and spoiled, I would just be like, that's fine. Oh, I don't need to physically see my friends again. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
we'll get on
Streaming.
Discord.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I am
Yes.
gonna need a gaming setup. And we're gonna need it. Like, they probably has really good internet already.
Oh, for
but we
sure.
gotta make sure.
Great, like crazy
good
internet. So they go and buy her a bunch of shit. And then they're kind of like, you know what? We just need to be seen around town because we want someone to try and kill us so that we can kill them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's a fine
They're trying to
plan.
be seen and they're baiting. They're baiting.
Yeah.
They're trying to bait this German assassin. Then as they're driving around, they're driving through an alley and they're like, oh, look up ahead. I'm like, ooh, stop the car.
Okay.
And they get out. And a little bit of a shootout. They end up grabbing him, taking him hostage, and bringing him back to Viper Skyscraper.
Who's him?
Some man. Some man.
man.
It's a hitter. I don't know if it's a German. It's just a hitter.
Okay.
You know? Okay, so chapter 27, the writing really starts to go downhill from here. Roxy is getting annoying.
Okay.
She was so great and so cool in the first half of the book, and then it's truly unbearable.
Well, now I feel like is she getting pick me?
She's getting pick-me, she's
Yeah.
getting comfortable with them. The whole thing.
Well, when your whole life revolves around four men, you're kind of a nightmare.
Right. When you're the center of attention.
Yeah.
Garrett and Diesel are at the penthouse with Roxy, and she mentions she was in the middle of getting a tattoo before they kidnapped her, and she wants to get it finished. And Diesel's like, well, Garrett can finish that for you. He did all of our tattoos.
I would say that's disrespectful to my artist. This is their work. I'm going to let them finish. He can do another one.
And that's what she does say. She's like, no thanks.
Okay. Well, respect.
Uh-huh. And then Garrett's like, there's no fucking way I'm tattooing her.
All right, dude, cool.
Right.
Like, I'm over it.
Right. Meanwhile, he just effed her face
Well, I mean,
the night before.
fucking your face and giving you a tattoo, totally different things.
Right. Anyway, so she starts arguing with him and is like, what is your fucking problem with women? And then he drags her into his room and she's like, talk to me. Just tell me. Just talk to me. Just open up to me.
Yeah, what does your mom do to you?
Uh-huh. Exactly. And then he's like, one day I'll open up to you. In the meantime, let's just try to get along. I'll try to stop being an asshole overtly. Kenzo and Ryder get there and they're like, Diesel, go downstairs. There's someone waiting for you in your torture chamber.
Oh, okay.
And Roxy's like, I'm bored. I'm going to go with Diesel down to
Watch
the
him
torture
kill this
chamber.
guy.
So now I want you to be aware, chapter 28 infamous chapter 28
Okay.
is it's infamous.
Wait, hold on, dude.
What?
Because of this, obviously, I keep getting fucking smut book shit.
Yeah.
I just like had this whole thing pop up on my TikTok that was talking about the infamous chapter 28.
Shut
And then it
up.
was like fan art of like people like reading it and the book would be open and it would just say like chapter 28.
Shut up.
And
You have to send that shit to me when you see it, Paul.
I didn't know what it was fucking
Yeah, but you just have
talking
to send
about.
it to me.
I was just like, I didn't even know about this book.
Yeah.
Like, it was so vague, but everyone, like, in the comments and shit was like, ooh, that chapter 28. You're telling me this is chapter 28?
This is chapter 28.
Whoa. Edge of my seat.
That is fun for you. Down in the lair, Diesel's got this guy chained up by all fours, and Roxy's just kind of like sitting on the counter behind him watching. I'm picturing like red lights.
Red lights are all I've been picturing.
There's
So
a
you can't see the
drain at
blood.
the bottom, like a
Yeah.
big drain.
Fucking like Saw.
Saw,
The
like
set of
Saw, yeah. So Diesel starts slowly torturing this guy, and it is graphic. I don't
Yeah.
have anything like. I'll let you read the chapter. I'm not
Okay.
going to get into it.
Okay.
I'll read it to you after,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. When it's not. Okay.
It's graphic, and he's like scalpel, and she's like putting it
scalpel.
in his hand and like handing him shit, and then like he'll like torture this guy, and then he'll like look back and make out with Roxy. So he's like making out with her while he's torturing this guy. It's insane. The guy's like, yeah, the Triad hired me. Obviously, he does say there's a mole or an ex-employee or someone. There's someone in your life
Oh
that
my god, someone's turned.
has turned because the Triad have a lot of information on you guys.
Oh fuck. Is
So
it one of the guards or is it one of the four brothers?
I know. I don't know. So then he finally kills him,
I bet it's Ryder.
and then we get what is the infamous part of this chapter.
I was like, what's so infamous?
Is Diesel and Roxy's first sexual encounter
Okay.
in this torture chamber.
Okay.
I'll just say he starts by chaining her up where the guy was just chained
But
up.
so where's the guy's body?
Right next to them
So just
on
like
the floor.
on the floor,
Right
crumpled
next-
up dead body.
dead right there.
And she's like,
and she's
hook
standing
me
in the
up."
pool of his blood.
Obviously. I was gonna say, are we
Of
using
the other man's blood.
as lube? Is the blood being used as lube?
Not the other man's blood, but her blood and Diesel's blood is.
Mixed together.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
mixed together.
Blood pact.
So it's crazy, unhinged, wild, insane, crazy, wild. I'm not going to get into too many details
But it doesn't
because I
feel
don't want to.
infamous. You're not making it feel infamous.
I know, but I just don't,
Listen, I wouldn't want you to feel uncomfortable.
Thank you,
But I
Paul.
will be finding out after
Oh, I'm going
we're
to
done
read the chapter
recording.
to you.
Okay.
Out loud.
Oh my god. I have
But
neighbors.
it's insane.
The blood
the handle of a knife is going places. He's making marks on her skin.
Okay.
They're
Getting wild.
they're getting
They're wilding out.
wild. Okay. They're getting insane. Next chapter, he's like, I'm going to bring you to Kenzo for aftercare because
I
Kenzo
don't
will take
fucking
care of
do
you.
that.
Yeah. Kenzo like takes care of her. And then the next day they shower her with all the clothes and jewelry and gifts they got her. Like they've got everything wrapped and there's like 50 parcels. She's having a really hard time accepting these gifts. She's like, I've never been given a gift in my life. My parents
Girl,
did
you've
not
earned
celebrate
it.
my birthday.
You've
No
put the work
shit. She's
in.
put the work in. Jesus
Just accept
Christ. They're like, please just let us spoil you. We have no one to spend our money on but you. And then we find out in that chapter that Kenzo and Ryder's mom committed suicide, and Ryder found her and like shielded Kenzo from the sight because he was young and he didn't want him to
Good brother.
see that. And then one of the gifts that Garrett gets her, even though he hates her, is a gun that says Viper's Girl engraved on it. And he takes her to a shooting range. Because remember they made
trash.
Because remember, oh, for
That
sure.
is the white trashest shit I've ever heard.
For sure.
She put on her fox pink zip up
Ew,
hoodie.
No.
Yeah, threw on her
No,
her
that's
fucking
not the vibe.
shredded jeans, and they went down to the shooting range.
That's not the vibe.
Because I'm a Viper's girl.
Anyway, he takes her to the shooting range, and she tries to ask him questions about his past and his chest and his scars. She knows she's pushing him, and he puts a wall up. They get into another argument. He's like, I hate you. I'm never going to like you. I hate you.
Yeah.
The shooting range is in the building, by the way. It's just a few floors down.
Obviously.
Yeah. But Ryder was like lurking in the background while they were having that argument. And after Garrett leaves, Ryder looks to Roxy and is like, just keep trying to get him to open up. He'll open up one day. Just keep trying. Just keep pushing
they're
him.
so into him getting into her.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Well, they just want him to get better, get over this weird thing he has with women, I guess. I don't know.
Nah.
So then, now it's Ryder and Roxy, and Ryder opens up to her about his dad. He was a piece of shit. They're bonding over their shitty childhoods. They're having a moment. They're bonding.
I love that it's somehow this like kidnapped woman's job to like heal all the inner children of these four
And that's exactly
men.
what it happens.
Yeah.
This is the chapter where we find out, finally, chapter 30, like more than halfway through the book, we find out that Kenzo and Ryder are full brothers and Garrett and Diesel are just guys that they call
Just
brothers.
guys.
And then he tells her again how much she is like them. It's getting repetitive. It's over and over and over again, the same conversations.
It's like weird that it's so important for them that she's like them.
Yeah. Trying to convince her.
Yeah. Yet it just seemed like it is crazy how long it's taking them to fucking sort out their business. It's like, oh, you think you have a mole? Great. Now you need to feed bad information to people and then find out which person leaks the bad information. Have you never run a criminal fucking empire?
Clearly you have.
Well, no, it's just like, be gay and in high school. Well, this is how we operated.
Yes.
Like, oh, I hear someone's talking about me. I need to spread a fake rumor about myself and find out who tells me that same rumor. And then I find out it was you. No.
This is why you'd be so good on Survivor.
I would be good on Survivor, but people can never know. And I would get so skinny.
You would get so skinny.
Oh my god.
We should just do that.
I would just be like, listen, everybody, I don't want to win. Just keep me around until I'm skinny enough. And then when we're down to the top 3, I'll be the fourth at least.
You could vote me out.
Yeah.
So Kenzo and Roxy go to a poker game. It's old money. They're in this big mansion. She's dressed up. They're there to see a man named Danny. Danny's like, oh, I got info for you.
Oh, I got a little something to tell you. The triads. And
then literally he's like, yeah, there's a hit out on you guys.
The triad did it.
He's like, the mole is someone who knows you well. They know everything. So lay low. They're just being... So so no real information again.
So dumb.
Yeah. After they talk to Danny, they decide to stay and gamble some more. It's like all old rich people. And Kenzo tells her to like misbehave, like be rude to people. He's like, I fucking hate all these rich fucks. Be rude to them all. It's unbearable, Paul. Then he's like, I'm gonna have sex with you in this closet real loud so everybody in this house can hear. I'm like, okay.
I don't want to.
Sure.
I would do it quiet.
Sure.
Like, I love a secret bang in the closet.
I know, just like
away from a party, but I don't want people to know about it.
Weird shit. I'm like, whatever.
Getting away with stuff is fun.
Right.
If I want them to watch, they can watch. And that's not what we're doing.
Right. Today. That's not what we're doing here. And then that night, Kenzo's like, oh my God, I had so much fun with you tonight.
You were such a bad girl.
Uh-huh. And he's like, I'm going to take you somewhere very special to me that I don't take anyone else.
Is it Best Buy? And can I buy everything I want?
Is it Best Buy?
Because I'm just saying, you guys are buying me gifts, but you're
Is
not asking me what I want. And I would like to go to Best Buy and I would like to get a new gaming PC.
Oh my God. Incredible. He's like, I'm going to take you very special that I don't take anybody.
We're going
they
to
roll up to a Best Buy.
Okay.
Micro Center.
Yeah, we're going to a Micro Center and you can get anything you want. You need a graphics card?
He takes her to his mother's grave.
So yeah, not Best Buy.
Yep. And opens up to her and tells her that he's falling in love with her.
This is just, yeah.
Yep.
Men needing women to fix them.
Yes.
And
her wanting to.
The level of mommy issues.
And daddy issues.
But it's just like, I'm going to take you to my dead mother's grave.
Yeah. Fix me, please.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. Later that night, Roxy goes to Garrett's room. She can hear him having a nightmare. And the nightmare is basically just a reliving of what happened to him. So we see what happens. He's chained down, and there's a woman just kind of like carving at his skin, stabbing him, just carving at his skin, being very sadistic. And that woman is his ex-fiancée.
Of course.
So Roxy calms him down, and they start to get... After he pins her down and thinks he's like...
Got,
and then he comes to, right, and then he comes to,
yeah.
But then she calms him down, and they are like laying there, and they finally kiss, and she's like, I want you, and he agrees to have sex with her only if he can tie her up, because in his trauma he was tied up, so if he can tie her up, then he can have sex with her.
Listen, I'll get tied up. I will not get tied up by
this
Garrett.
Man who is...
You have a proven track record that tells me you should not tie me up.
Right.
I will let people tie me up.
Yeah.
That's
not by Garrett.
Not you. Not if you just told me that story.
Yes.
And you lost control and sometimes think I'm the
right.
girl.
It's happened twice now.
You're asking for it. You're asking to die.
And they do it, obviously. Yeah. All right, so...
Well, so is there no jealousy?
No, there's no jealousy. They all are like... You're good for Diesel. You're good for Garrett. You're good for Kenzo. You're good for Ryder. We
And they're
love
all
having you here. There
down.
is no jealousy at all.
Okay.
There's
It just
no
seems like
jealousy.
they're gonna, like, 4 people is a lot of people to divide yourself between.
Dude,
like,
for real.
What happens when 2 of them want to cuddle on the same night?
Exactly. It never comes up. They all love
Okay.
each other. It's
Okay.
like truly not a problem.
Okay.
But I will be honest with you, Roxy is completely unbearable at this point. The
Yeah.
character, I almost can't read her dialogue.
Yeah.
She literally says shit like vajayjay. She's like, my vajayjay hurts. You guys have been pounding my vajayjay. I like it's horrifically bad.
Yeah, because at this point we're just like
she
repeating the same information. Like the plot's not moving along. Like
Yep.
things are happening.
It's just
It's
porn.
just the same thing over
Yeah.
and over again. It's like we're gonna find out new information. It's the same information, but we have to go do so. So it's
Yeah.
just like excuses for them to go and do
she
something.
keeps calling them big guy. She's
Hey,
like
bud.
it's
Export.
horrifically
Hey,
bad.
big guy.
But then we do get she finally lets Garrett tattoo her
Okay, what does he put on her? His name?
a snake.
Oh, duh.
But I will tell you something that's kind of wild. Apparently, she gets turned on when she gets tattooed, and it's Diesel and Garrett there, and Garrett's tattooing her. And
So Diesel fooks her.
no, so her and Diesel basically soak
Yeah,
while Garrett is tattooing her.
that is something.
Isn't
That's
that
an idea.
Isn't that something?
That's a concept.
I told you, creative
What a
writing.
crazy-
A+ on this one.
Like
Yeah,
how soaking got here
right.
is wild.
They don't use the term soak, but I know that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Just sitting there.
with it in there,
Yeah.
brewing the tea.
Yep. So a little while later,
They've just been living and fucking together.
and trying to look for this mole, they go and
Yeah.
talk to some people, you know.
Just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Ryder asks her one night, "Do you want to be here?"
Well, yeah, because at some point, if we're talking about like, oh, we're all falling in love and stuff,
Right.
like we can't ignore the fact that
And
this
they're all
is
having
a,
feelings.
this is a kidnapping situation.
Right.
So, like, is she just tricking you to get you comfortable enough for her to escape?
Yeah, I do. I do want to be here, but I also need my freedom.
Yeah, I
can't
want
be
to choose to be
caged.
here.
I want to choose to be here. Literally is
Yeah.
what she says. And so he thinks, well, I love her. I have to let her go.
Amen. Yes, you do.
So
Does everyone get pissed,
the
though?
guys, yeah, they do. They decide they're going to tell her she can leave. And on the day that they do that, Garrett and Diesel leave because they can't handle seeing her leave. Kenzo is the one that like gives her the news, and he's like begging with her not to go, but she goes.
I would be like, we
But
can
she just-
still be whatever we are.
She doesn't get far.
Okay.
Turns around, comes back,
Okay.
and they're like, "Don't ever leave us again."
I would be like, okay.
So
but,
she's decided to stay permanently now.
okay, that's fine.
That's the point where she's deciding to
I
stay.
support her decision.
For sure.
Honestly. Like,
for sure.
if it's all working for everybody and she's got a
And she
dope
wants to
room
be
and
there.
she wants to be there and everything's
She's got a car now. They
consensual.
gave her a car.
Yeah, like she's just now kind of
She's
their
got her own
live-in
car, yeah.
like girlfriend for all of them. And
Yes.
if she's into it, this is great. I would just be like, yo, I want to run my bar.
Right.
I want to like still have my apartment above my bar, and like maybe you guys just make sure my bar's safe and
Mhm.
fund it and give me
Mhm.
money.
One of their safe houses gets blown up. Roxy makes one phone call to a guy who owed her a favor, and the next thing you know, it is being reported on television that Triad members are being raided because they've been importing drugs and stealing from the city. So now the cops are all over the Triad, and the guys are like, good, fuck yeah, this is going to take them down. And
she
this all
just
comes
did
from
that-
one phone call.
So she could have just whipped out that call at any time.
Little bit
Is
of a
she
hole there.
secretly in charge? Like she's the head of the Triad.
No, but that
a
would be
twist.
crazy.
That would be a twist. Is they don't realize
That
that,
would
they
be
kidnapped
a
the head, and she's been
twist.
put on a show this whole time to get close to them.
So now they're like,
Dude, that's a book. Okay,
that is a
sorry.
book, Paul. You're right. So they're like so impressed that she did all this, and now the Triad are under major pressure. So they're like, you know, little pressure's off them. Then Ryder takes her to a board meeting
Okay.
where we learn that he has purchased a shit ton of properties for her to open up a bunch of bars and have her be the CEO of like a legitimate business.
I love
and she's gonna own
that,
bars.
but like, I would really like someone to run that past me before doing it.
not her.
Because to me, I'm just like, so I have to run like.
So I have to be like have a real
I have-
fucking job
yeah.
now.
Because I was
Like,
really
now I have a
enjoying
job.
the penthouse princess fucking vibe.
Right. So true.
What's her reaction? She's into it?
She's into it.
Okay, I don't like her.
No,
But JJ and
Oh
this,
my God, Paul.
I can't.
Well, there's too much, but the banter truly is, it's painful. You had to gloss over it.
Yeah.
So that's great, and then next is just, just basically porn. So
Yeah,
we
so now they're
get like
fucking.
a
She's
gun
got
scene with Diesel. Then they get another call that one of their safe houses was destroyed. So now it's time for all out war.
Yeah, they're being because they're being targeted. Honestly,
Yep.
they're doing a really bad job.
They really are.
Of like
Well, she's
handling
distracted them.
I don't. What do you mean? There's 4 of you. Like, you're telling me no one can figure out the
And
assassin mole
apparently they
situation?
have like unlimited staff.
Yeah, like you have. Well, you know what? That's why you have a mole,
True.
bitch. You need to have a tight.
And they're assholes.
Yeah.
Garrett starts going to a lot of their safe houses, which apparently they have dozens throughout the city.
Maybe stop. They're all gonna blow up. I wouldn't go to one.
For real. He discovers that 3 of them have been destroyed, trashed, they've been hit. One of them being an apartment above a coffee shop. So he's like, well, since I'm here, I might as well go downstairs and get a coffee. And
Coffee shop blows up.
He's downstairs getting a coffee. He sees a woman out of the corner of his eye. It's his ex-fiancée. She's there.
She's the assassin.
She's there, and she's got like a hood over her face. He's like, how the fuck is she alive? I thought Diesel killed her. I thought Diesel burned her alive in her apartment. Like however long ago, He goes over to her table and he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I have unfinished business with the Vipers. Payback, vengeance. She's like, oh, you have a pretty new girlfriend, huh?
So it's all leading to some fucking like cat fight?
No, it's
Okay.
all leading to the ex-fiance and Garrett, basically. So she's like, I know you have a pretty new girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. And then her like hood falls and he sees her face.
Scar.
All melted, like
Fucking
no eye.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, she's like clearly been
Two-Face.
burnt. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, fuck you, and she's like, fuck you. And he leaves, and he gets in the car and he's like, oh my God, where's my phone? She has his phone.
Well, you know what? Just respect.
Yeah.
You got blown up or burnt or whatever.
Yep.
And now you're
back for vengeance. You're coming back for more.
And that sleight of hand you
Uh-huh.
just did?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, for sure it is. So Roxy's home alone with her guards, blah, blah, blah. She gets a text message from Garrett that says, meet me at this hotel.
Dude.
Yep.
Get her.
Yep.
See, this is conniving. I like this.
Yep. Roxy tells the guards, like, please take me. And they're like, no, man, we can't take you. These guys will kill us.
You work for me.
And that's what she
I'm
does.
here by choice
And that's
now.
what she says.
I run these men.
Yep.
You fucking work for me.
And that's what she tells them. And they're like, fucking fine. I guess we'll take you to this hotel. Not before she, like, jimmies the lock on their armory.
And brings a gun.
And brings a ton of guns and knives and
Fucking,
stuff.
what is Matrix Reloaded?
Yeah.
She's coming in.
So obviously they get there, and then the second they get there, boom, boom, all the guards get shot in the head through the windows of the car. And she's like, oh my God, shots fired. This is a setup.
Yeah. You don't know what you're really in.
Yep. And so she like gets out of the car and she manages to like get away, and she just starts running. People are chasing her and she's shooting, pew, pew, pew. It's an action scene. But they finally get her, obviously. They knock her out and they get her.
The guards are dropping like flies.
They are. Everybody is.
You know?
The body count in this book is like 750.
Yeah.
Ryder gets a text message from an unknown number that says that Roxy's been taken. She's gone. And they're going to burn this city down to find her. This is like crazy, man. They're all pissed,
They didn't chip her?
They weren't excited.
I meant put a chip in her.
Oh. No.
They weren't chipper either.
They weren't chipper.
And I get it.
Yeah. But that would have been a good idea. They should have chipped her.
They just seem like the type that are like,
Yeah,
you're
for
mine.
real,
I'm going
dude.
to go ahead and just like put a tracker on you. We're probably all chipped.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so they end up at a triad warehouse. They're interrogating and torturing all these triad guys, and one of them is like, I know where she is. I know where she is. She's been taken to one of your safe houses. It's like on the outskirts of town, whatever. Meanwhile, Garrett and Diesel have just been running around town, kicking the shit out of everybody, just sending a message to the triad that like, you're dead.
Yeah, you don't take our
Right.
whatever she is to us.
Yep. So they finally, the safe house that's on the outskirts of town that they have her at is an old hotel that the Vipers own, but they've let it go dilapidated because that is the place where Ryder killed Ryder and Kenzo's dad.
Oh.
So they arm up. They like get an actual like grenade launcher and shit.
This is war.
It's war, dude. Now we're like at Roxy's perspective. She's woken up and she's like, I'm not going down without a fight. So as she's being tortured, she is saying the most painful shit. And I just have to read a little bit of it because it's embarrassing, this writing.
Damn, it's
embarrassing.
Crazy how far we've fallen.
Yeah. So picture this, she's strapped to a chair. She's looking at the torturer. His body's lanky and covered in tattoos and he has no shirt on, just some leather pants. Do they chafe you? I got the worst chafe from them, especially when you start sweating a lot and in leather. That's all the time. Am I right? I ask him.
She's doing a bit. She's working on a tight 5.
Uh-huh. He grins wider. Baby powder.
First of all,
I'll
who
have to
didn't
try
already know
that.
that?
Well,
Who doesn't already know
actually,
that?
I don't know about baby powder. Did you see Friends, Ross? I mean, I guess he added
That's
lotion.
a dramatization.
That
If you're-
dramatization.
if you're trying to
True.
prevent-
How many leather pants do you wear?
I don't wear leather pants. My thighs rub together.
Sure, but the sweat mixed with the baby powder and leather pants, I think, is an
you
issue.
baby powder before you sweat.
Yeah, but then
It's preventive, not It's not a solution.
I understand that.
You don't sound like you understand.
I'm talking
that.
about when you start sweating 5 minutes or an hour later.
Well, I'm just saying he should have powdered before.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. They're talking
You do
about
digress.
this. They're talking about this
Okay.
in a torture chamber.
Well, no, that's some cheesy
but
cheeseball
then
bullshit.
wait. It's just embarrassing.
I mean, I kind
Paul.
of get like what the idea is of like, oh, I'm not scared. I'm being tortured. I'm not scared. So I'm going to talk about like mundane little things.
But it's embarrassing.
It's not reading the way that I think.
Oh, here we go.
she
Here we
wants
go.
it to.
Here we go. Okay, then a man comes and he goes, "Enough!" And she goes, "What? I was just getting started. You should know I once talked my way out of a ticket. Okay, 3 times, but who's counting? Then there was that time I was in a Mexican jail and
Does she think she's Deadpool?
I don't fucking
I hate
understand.
her.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it sounds like they want her to come off as like Harley Quinn or something.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm deranged because I'm so dirty. Like you could
That's
never
a good
scare me because
point.
I'm
Yes.
crazier.
It's just painful.
Yeah. Well, and it's like that's kind of a jump of character. Like
It a jump of character.
That's
why I say I feel like someone else wrote the second half of the book.
Like if she through the whole book was like
A badass
kooky,
bitch.
weird, and like deranged, and was like her response to all of this was like, yeah, hit me harder. That like would make sense. But
Well, she was when she was with Diesel.
But not like hit me harder. I mean, I guess so.
Well,
but
it's
not
just her, like,
not like this weird
cheeky.
Yeah.
It's the bit. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Anyway, so she's being tortured, whatever. She's not giving up anything to these guys. And then finally she hears like a boom, and she's like, oh, they're here for you. They're here for you.
My 4 boys are here.
Yep, exactly. And she can hear gunshots and blah, blah, blah. And so they run out. She's alone in the room now in this chair. And she like rocks the chair, gets out of the chair. Yeah. Meanwhile, they have tortured her to the point where she's got broken ribs, a dislocated shoulder, toenails have been ripped off.
So like you're not a superhero.
Right, but just the book makes her out literally.
Like what shifted? What spider bit you?
Right.
That now you can withstand all this pain.
Anyway, they kill 1 billion people. They finally get to her. They pop her shoulder back into place. But she's so fucked up, and they're acting like, she's running through, whatever. And they're like, you're going to be punished when you get home. Don't ever leave us. Well, and she does actually say, she's like, oh yeah, I'll try not to get kidnapped next time. Like, she does say shit like that.
Well, you're doing it throughout the book. Bad job at not getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
All you really do is get kidnapped and fuck.
That's actually true. So we get a big fight action scene. It's so weird because during the fight and action scene, she's having, again, embarrassing banter with the guys. Being like, oh, don't get your dick blown off. I need that for later.
It's watch out behind you.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't like this.
But it's all sexual. It's all sexual. It's literally like, don't get your dick blown off. I need that. Save that appetite for later. Like, it's embarrassing. Listen to this. This is one thing I've got to tell you. So Diesel has he rolled in with a fanny pack and everyone's like, what's in your fanny pack? He's like, you'll find out later. So now after this fight scene.
Tampons and ibuprofen.
It's a care kit.
Yeah.
Grabbing another knife, I toss that as well, but I miss, and Ryder glares over at me. Open the fucking fanny pack, he screams. Roxy laughs. What's in it? Meanwhile, this isn't an action scene. Yeah. Leaning back on my knees, I unzip it and show her the grenades inside. Do you always keep your grenades in there? She inquires. Firing still going on all around us. Not always. Sometimes I keep knives in here, or tacos. Tacos? She echoes?
I want to be done. I want to wrap this book up.
I get hungry when I fight, I say. That's the level, Paul. Did that not?
I might cry.
I know.
I'm tearing up.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Sometimes I keep tacos
it's a do
in
not
it.
Read. I know we were talking about it.
You're right.
It's a do not read.
America, dude. The first half
and
of the book,
beyond.
Yeah, it's a do not read.
It's a do not read. It's a fucking bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch.
I would be so mad because if I put in like the work for like the first half more than
yes,
and was like, okay, cool, and then somehow we're talking about tacos
in a fanny
packs. Oh my god,
Paul,
I hate people that think tacos are funny.
This is why the text messages I sent you yesterday when you said, "Are we potting tomorrow?" And I said, "I think I can have it." Like that's the level. Now you feel me. That's the level.
That was insane.
Garrett gets taken away
Good.
by someone. They've kidnapped him.
Good.
They were after him the whole
Hope he dies.
time. They find Kenzo all fucked up.
Good.
They make it out of the warehouse. They go home. They've got like a doctor or surgeon on staff. So the doctor surgeon patches up Kenzo.
And they feel no pain. No one felt any pain. No one feels any pain.
They are like, well, fuck, Garrett's gone. We got to get Garrett. So they load up on weapons again. And one of the triad guys in the fight scene had told them that
There was an assassin out to kill them, and the triad hired it.
no, he told them where Garrett's ex-fiance has him. So like,
One
go to
new
this
piece of information.
right. Go to
Great.
this house. This is where Garrett's being held. Cut to Garrett's perspective. He's there, and she's taunting him. He's tied down again. He's beat to shit. She starts carving him again, torturing
Fucking
him.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. The boys and Roxy make it there.
Great.
And
Roxy's got some fun things to say.
Roxy has some fun things to say. She breaks in the room. She's got her bat, and she beats his ex-fiancée to death with the bat and unties
And says he
Garrett.
can't handle the heat.
Get out of the kitchen.
Yeah. She's all burned up, you know?
Uh-huh. That's fun. Garrett is on the brink of death. So she's like in the car holding him, crying. She's like, please don't die on me, don't die on me. But they make it back home in time for the doctors to work on him. He makes it through the night and survives. They take one guy prisoner, kill him in the lair, breaking each bone
It's just
one
like,
by
why are
one.
we even taking anyone prisoner? You're getting no additional
Yeah,
information.
at this point,
You're
all
just
of the
killing
triad
them.
is dead. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead.
It's beyond serial killing.
Oh, it's massacre.
It's massacre.
That's why I'm saying the body count is unreal.
Yeah.
Nothing much happens. There's like a bunch
They
of
live
there's
happily
a
ever
bunch of
after.
sex scenes, a bunch of repetitive dialogue.
Well, how can she fix all of their problems if she doesn't have sex with them in the way they want her to?
Exactly. You're so smart.
How else do you do it?
Ryder keeps being like, oh, I'm going to open up to you. I'm opening up to you. Don't ever leave me. I love you. Don't ever leave me. Talks about how his dad was a piece of shit. It's like, I already know this.
Yeah, it's like we've already hashed this scene out.
Yeah.
I get why you feel like it's like two different people wrote this book. So it's like they're both giving you the same information because they don't realize the other one already told you.
Yeah, and the character feels
switch.
different.
Yeah, the character switch is crazy.
They come out publicly as a
Quad
whatever.
There's 5 of them.
I don't even know. There's 5. So a quintuple?
That's none of my fucking business.
I don't know.
I'm just a regular gay guy, you know?
Yeah.
I don't get into all that.
Ryder buys them a new house. He starts fixing up this new house for them to live in, but
I hope
Roxy doesn't know about
did
it
we keep
yet.
the penthouse? Because I don't want to give up my place
They're
in the
keeping
city.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then one day, Ryder is like, now that we're all in love with each other, we think it's time to pay back your dad for what he did to you. Do you want us to kill him or do you want to kill him? And she's like, fuck it, I'll
This
do it.
is a snuff book.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it is.
It's just like horny death.
Yep, it is. That's why I said trigger warning death kink. Like
Death.
Well, and Garrett's like, ooh, maybe you'll kill me one day. Would you like to do
Yeah,
that?
maybe you'll push it too hot,
yeah,
far in a heated moment and kill me. He could only be so lucky.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't get me going. But
I like a choke, but
sure, but I don't want to
I
die.
still want to see the life in your eyes.
Exactly. And I truly am not into the blood thing.
You can say blood out loud.
So they go to her like childhood home. They see her dad. He's disgusting. He's a wreck. He's foul. And she like stops for a second thinking she can't kill him, but then she's like, no, I will. She cuts his throat. He dies. Then just for the rest of the book, it's closing out each character. So it's just like a sex scene with each of her and the 4 guys per chapter. The last chapter, Ryder and her are talking about how everything's ready for her grand opening for her next few bars. Everything's going to be successful and perfect. Whatever, they bang on his office desk. Then the very last chapter is them surprising Roxy with their new home. And they're like, this is your home. And she ends the chapter ends the book, chapter, by saying, from the vipers, she learned love is unconditional and comes at the strangest places and strangest times. She's found her home and found her family. There's an epilogue.
What a takeaway.
Do you want to hear the epilogue?
Yeah.
It's been 6 months later.
Okay.
She has 15 bars open in 6 months. Garrett has now opened 3 gyms. Yeah, and he's also decided to open up gyms for troubled youth so they can get off the street.
Okay.
And they've opened a few charities and homeless shelters. So they're trying to turn. Yeah. Ryder's still busy with work, legal and illegal. And then they surprise her one day. They're like, we've got a surprise for you. She's like, where are we going? They take her to a courthouse. It's like midnight. They've held a judge hostage.
What are we gonna do? What are we going to do?
They're gonna
a piece of paper.
They're gonna have the judge marry her to all 4 of them. The judge goes, he's been taken hostage.
He goes, it's not legally binding.
Paul, In this epilogue, a judge is held hostage, and he goes, "This isn't legal." They're like, "Shut up!" and they pistol whip him, and then he
I
marries
do want to
them.
know if they do 4 marriage licenses or 1 master license.
I wonder as well. The book ends and they end happily ever after.
And gay marriage is like not legal anymore.
Paul, it is. Gay marriage
They're
is still
coming for
legal. Yes,
They're coming for gay marriage.
are.
They got a problem with gays getting married.
So that was
Okay.
Den of Vipers, man. Do you see what I say about starting off so good and fun, and
This
then
was like-
immediate horrifically
Yeah.
bad?
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
It was so upsetting, Paul. The shit she was saying, and I'll tell you later, but like, it's just, it was embarrassing reading it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I like love that we are doing like a dark romance that went dark,
Yeah,
dark,
which I
with,
don't
like,
know that
blood
will
and
happen
torture.
again, right?
Well, it's like now I'm upset because I want that to happen and it not be
Shit.
so weird.
I
Like,
know. Like, can you not have a good
like
story?
Can that not like? Can we have the crazy dark romance enhance the story?
Well, and we
instead
may
of
be
being
able
a
to.
weird distraction.
Yeah.
Like,
So without getting too deep into it, I'll tell you next book's title.
okay, great.
It's called Behind the Scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Lights, camera, attraction.
That sounds like a really good one for me.
It's a cutesy one. I need to balance this out.
Okay. Lights, camera, action. No, what's it called?
This couldn't be further off. It's called Behind the Scenes.
Behind the scenes. That's
Yep.
not that far off.
Yep.
Okay, behind the scenes, I think that because obviously I could go the route that's obvious.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go the route that's still pretty obvious.
Okay.
But isn't as obvious.
Okay.
I think that behind the scenes is about a Chicago-based theater troupe, and it centers around the main character is a female theater manager. She started in acting. She worked there. She worked her way up. She was like doing like fucking ticket taking and stuff when she was a teenager. She loves the theater, right?
She's a theater girl.
She's the theater girl.
Yeah.
And so she has worked her way up. She like runs this theater and she inherited it from like her mentor and she's been running it pretty happily, but like ticket sales are down. It's just, modern day, it's hard to get people to come to the theater.
It is.
Especially after the pandemic, like getting people to actually come out of their
It's
house.
so
It's
tough.
really fucking hard. But, she's got a great ragtag group of actors and they do all kinds of productions. But some people have said that they seem to tend towards older productions. We're not doing a lot of modern stuff because she appreciates the classics and like her mentor was very into the classics. And then one day, who walks through her door? I don't know. But I don't know what his name is, but someone.
And it's a man.
It's a woman.
Oh, okay.
But it's not the love interest.
Oh, okay.
They walk in, they want a meeting with her because they have a proposition. This woman is the agent manager of a A-list
Ooh,
celebrity
that's fun.
star.
Okay.
A Brad Pitt.
Oh.
A huge
Okay,
name.
A-list.
A-list. A-list. Who is, and it's not out in the papers yet, about to have a scandal.
Okay.
Him and his ex-wife, who was much younger than him.
Ooh. He got somebody else pregnant. Dave
No.
Grohl style.
No. But, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a scandal, and the very vindictive now ex-wife has already said because she like didn't get what she wanted in the lawsuit, his lawyers were better. She's about to like put him on blast.
Shit.
And she has already sent out like a like death notice to the networks that are like, I want you all to know that this fucker is never going to work in this town again because I'm about to reveal what's going on. And he's got some skeletons in that closet. He's done some
Surely.
things. He's lived a life. Hollywood star,
Yeah.
Things weren't always on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his mid-30s, I'm going to say.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Hot.
hot,
Prime.
mid-30s, yeah. But the theater manager, she is older than him.
But not by a lot. Like 5
But not
years.
by a lot, yeah. Within 5 years,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, she might be like 43 tops,
Okay.
and then he's maybe like 37 tops.
Okay.
And so
So he has to go to the theater.
the agent has come to say, I have a proposition for you. Like, we need to get ahead of this
Yeah.
scandal that's going to come out, and I know he's about to lose all of his network deals
Damn.
and be run out. And she's like, and it's not out yet, but we want him to come out. We're going to like postpone this and keep this quiet as long as we can. And we want to get him here on like a revival tour of coming and doing something
A theater.
of theater, something
Right.
where it's like
Coming
the-
back to your roots.
Yeah, the networks can't get you from here. Like
Yeah.
here, like this is a world outside of it. You're still an actor, and we're just trying to gain the public's affection,
Yes.
so that when we go
Smart.
head to head in the press against this ex-wife, we've got a
Mhm.
backstory of he's just come and like basically saved this historic but failing theater group
Oh, I
in
love
Chicago.
this. And so behind the scenes
is
is her and him getting. She's
but
directing
she
him.
comes in, and at first she's like, she knows this is the only way to save the theater.
Yeah.
They're on their last leg.
So
They're
she's
in debt.
against it.
She's against it. She's
sure.
against it.
She
but
doesn't want to
like,
work with this dickhead.
yeah, and
whatever
she
he
goes,
did.
You're not like he's not a classically trained actor.
Yeah.
Like he was like discovered on the internet, blew up because he's hot, and he's had just like action roles.
So it goes these days.
So it goes these days. But he's coming here, and she's like, I'm not letting you off. Like I'm not treating you like a celebrity. Like this is not what it is. And she like fucking pushes him. But they definitely don't get along.
So it's an enemies to lovers.
Yeah. So then eventually, obviously, she's like directing him through love scenes, and she's trying to force all these like old Shakespeare, all this old stuff. And he's just like, this is why your shit's fucking failing. Like you need to come out. It's like, no, we don't have to do only modern stuff, but you need to do something that connects to your audience now,
Yeah.
and not the things that make you remember your dead mentor. And that's kind of their come to Jesus fight moment. And then they fuck, obviously.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like she's on board, and she's like, she still doesn't know what he did,
But then she helps him through it when it comes out.
but she doesn't know what he did.
She
yet.
stands by his
So
side.
they're like trying to just like, we're gonna do like a modern take on a classic thing, and they like start rewriting like a classic play together to make it modern and like bring in.
And then obviously during writing sessions,
they're
like.
in love. They're
Yes.
falling deep,
Oh
deep,
my
deep,
God,
deep,
I would
deep,
read
deep,
that.
deep, deep, deep.
Oh, I love that.
But then yeah, it's like premiere night. That's when the news breaks.
Shit.
She timed it. The ex-wife knows what she's doing. She's like 23, and
Ooh.
she knows what she's
Oh,
doing.
girl.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, it really just it's like a enemies to lover, up and down, like great things are happening, then big tragic events,
Yep.
and it's just him trying to recover. And
Do they end up together?
They do end up together. He's trying to figure out what he wants out of life and what is important, and she's trying to come to terms with her own mortality and age, and that life changes, things change, and you either change with it or you stay in the past.
Yeah.
And he's trying to come to terms with what he did, which I'm not sure what he did yet. I can't wait to find out. But and he's trying to come to terms with like, what do I want out of life? Is fame and all of this movie starring is all there is? And do I really love acting?
Oh, that's good.
And that's what I think behind the scenes is about.
Oh, I would read that, Paul. That's a good one.
I liked the title of that one.
Yeah.
I was already there.
Behind the scenes, lights, camera, attraction.
Yeah. That's going to be a good one. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I fear we should say goodnight.
Oh, we
because it's been a long one.
Yeah, this has been a long
But thanks for
one.
listening to this one.
We did have to fight through this.
We did have to fight
Yeah.
through it. It's been 4 hours.
Yeah. It's only really been a normal amount of time, but I can tell that you have felt it's been a lot longer.
It's been
'Cause
17.
every time you've been like, well, it's been like an hour and a half. And I was like, well, I'm looking at a time that says 55 minutes, but okay.
You know me.
I do know you.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul.
No, thank you.
Yes,
I mean,
you're
recover.
welcome. Yep. Well, there's our episode. So
Yeah.
next week, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Thanks for
All right.
Thanks for joining us on
Thanks for
another
joining.
episode of Secondhand Smut. And
We'll talk to you later.
bye.